watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
all in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk facts.
We're giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
Play it on the car ride, play it when you lounge. X and O, you know that we can hold it down. Shout out to my man Sammy, got it off the ground. And to all the listeners tuned in right now, got debates, analysis, and speculation. This is sports talk for the new generation. You know where to find us, got a reputation. Sick podcast, your #1 sports destination.
Giving all our devotion, riding high on this wave of emotion, going all out, yeah, 'cause this is our time. No, ain't no stopping us till we reach the finish line. All in, we came here to win. We're gonna give everything. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick. On fire, we're ready to fight. We'll bring the house down tonight. S-I-C-K on the run. S-I-C-K, sick, sick.
S-I-C-K, it's the sickest podcast. Tune in for the audio, or you can even watch back, giving players all the props or put them on blast. We don't give no hot takes, only talk back. S-I-C-K,
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 S-I-C-K.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to The Sick Podcast. The Eye Test with Pierre, McGuire, and Jimmy Murphy.
The Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche. And after 22 years, Raymond Mark
The sickest NHL podcast. It's gonna be sick.
And welcome to another edition of the Eye Test here on the Sick Podcast Network. He is Pierre McGuire. I am Jimmy Murphy. Pierre, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, Jimmy. I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm hanging in there. Good day. I had a nice conversation, I was telling you, with Boston University head coach Jay Pandolfo.
How could it be nice? He's angry.
I have an Irish charm, Pierre. I have a way of rubbing off on those Italians,
Yeah, he's angry.
It was good, though. It was fun. And I also, as I told you yesterday, had a good time talking to Kenny Holland. So I had some good interviews. I know stories will be out on RG in the next few days. So people want to check them out there, they can. Some stuff there that I was telling you off air we'll keep for the story so people read it. But I liked what Pandolfo had to say about Celebrini. And before we get into last night and today and all that, just quickly, Pierre, one thing I love about being around you is when you talk about players you've worked with, whether it's training them, whether it's coaching them over the years, and just, seeing the connection you'll forever have to them. And it reminded me of you when I was talking to him, obviously talking about Celebrini. But, just for our listeners out there, as a coach and somebody working to help mentor younger hockey players, what's it like for you when you see them succeed at the pinnacle of their game in the NHL?
It was really cool yesterday. I got a call from a person that's very close to this young lady that I coached for a long time. I've had her in hockey camp. She's been 5 years old. She's 23 now. And she just signed with the Boston Fleet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was so happy. And the person's like, wow, you're really gunned up about this. I go, yeah, I know how hard that young lady worked.
Right.
And it wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
And then you got to skate with me sometimes in the summer, and that's not easy at all. So I was so happy for her. And I just did an amazing interview with Julie Chu, who played forever, 4 different Olympics, was a flag bearer at the 2014 Olympics in Sochi after that amazingly disappointing loss in the gold medal game. And we were talking about the growth of women's hockey in particular. And, it grew so much. And obviously she played at the highest level of the women's game at the time. And she's so happy for these young ladies that have these opportunities now to really try to be professionals. Whereas before they could say it was pro hockey, it's not like pro hockey is now. Right. And so the PWHL has taken that to a whole other level, which I think is really good for the ladies, and it's great for hockey. So I was really happy about that. That's just one example of that young lady that I coach.
Right.
And then I see guys that are thriving in college hockey that I work with, or guys that are getting drafted. And you hope, like Marshall Rafai. I thought Marshall had a great chance to play for Toronto, and he gets hurt in a preseason game in Montreal. I'm heartbroken to see that, but stay in touch, see him coming on, and excited for him. Once he gets back, who knows? He might be able to play for the Leafs again, which is great.
Yeah, I imagine that's probably one of the best parts of the job when you coach and you train people, just like it is if you're a teacher and you see somebody succeed. It's rewarding. So, Pierre, I want to, there's 2 things, obviously 2 big topics from last night, and I want to jump to the Rangers and JT Miller giving up on that play at the end. Look, we weren't in that locker room last year in Vancouver. I don't pretend to know what went on. I can only judge my opinion on what I know from what's been publicly released and what I see in games and what I see in quotes. This is a guy who has publicly ripped his teammates, publicly and internally ripped his teammates for lack of effort multiple times, whether it's with the Canucks or other times in his career, he's done that. So to see him do what he did last night, I'm sorry, that just really got under my skin. Like, I think it's inexcusable. You got to practice what you preach. And if that was me, and if I was doing something and I preach and I went against it, Pierre, I would want you or Shane, our producer, or anyone in that listener section right there commenting to call me out on it, because that's how I think the world should be.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I love working with you, because you're not afraid of that, which is good. It's really good.
I just couldn't believe it.
I saw it early this morning. I did not watch that part of the game. I'm not going to lie to you, but I watched it early this morning, and I was really heartbroken to see that. As excited as I was for this young lady who I've coached since she's been 5 years old to sign, I was a total other end of the spectrum.
Yeah.
I was so sad. I was like, wow, can't do that. And I sent it to a few guys that, we talk about mentoring, and I sent it to a few of them today. I said, you probably don't even know JT Miller. I do. And I don't mean you, I mean the player.
Yeah.
I do know JT Miller. I know JT Miller pretty well. And he golfs with a good friend of mine, who was a former teammate of mine a lot. And they have a really good relationship. But I'll just tell you this right now. Like, I don't know how Mike Sullivan's going to handle this one.
So that was
And people can say whatever they want about the player.
Uh-huh.
You talked about coaching before. The coach can have to deal with this.
So great segue. What would you do in this situation? Would you I don't want to say bench him for a full game, but would you minimize his time to start the next game?
No, I think first off,
Okay.
it's a private discussion between the player and the coach,
Okay.
and nobody else is privy to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the meeting ends, whether it's a positive or a negative meeting, the way the meeting ends is simple. You owe your teammates an apology. Now, I wasn't in the room last night.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he apologized after the game.
Mm-hmm.
But whenever it comes, you owe your teammates an apology. I'm going to give you an example of that.
Okay.
Ken Dryden, in 1973, Scotty's first cup, said some things about Savard and Robinson and Lapointe, the big three in Montreal. And the late Toe Blake, heard it. And Scotty was his first year coaching in Montreal. Toe went to Scotty. It was actually Scotty's second year.
Yeah.
He goes to Scotty and he says, "You're going to have a problem tomorrow. These guys are going to be mad. I heard what Dryden said, and you're going to have to talk to Ken about it." So Scotty did. And Ken went to each one of the players and said, "I misspoke. I was out of line. I apologize. I shouldn't have said what I said. I'm more of a problem than you guys are. I got to fix it." And, I'm paraphrasing.
No, I heard the story from Scotty. Yeah.
Eventually it got sorted out.
I love it. So when Ken passed recently, when Ken Dryden passed, our good friend Mitch Melnick, as he always does in situations like that, he's just like the Canadians. He does great tributes. And he did a great tribute, and he played that interview, that clip of Scotty talking about that moment with Ken. And then he played himself asking Ken about it. And Ken said, one of the things I'm most grateful for is that Scotty came to me and said that. They said, "Listen, you got to do something about this." He goes, "Maybe you weren't trying to throw them under the bus, or maybe you weren't trying to have it come out the way it did, but this is how it's going to be interpreted, because this is what the media does. They look for juicy stuff and they twist it."
So, yeah.
And he's grateful for it.
Yeah. So I remember when Scotty told me that, and he was trying to help me in a coaching situation, and I was working for him.
Mm-hmm.
And he really allowed me to have a big canvas to paint on, which I was always really appreciative of. But there was one thing we had to deal with. And he said, "Look, I had to deal with this with Dryden back in 73. And this is 92. So it's almost 20 years later." He says, "But it's a valuable teaching tool." And it was.
Yeah.
And so we sorted out our problems that we had in Pittsburgh at that time. And there was no big deal. Everybody understood. And, you go forward and you learn from different things. So, yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I mean, maybe there's a silver lining to be had. If that's how it goes down and he does go and apologize to his teammates, maybe that's a moment that they can take and build off, because this team needs something. They need to grab on and hold on to something, Pierre. And it's not just on the ice. It's
I'm agreeing with what you're saying, but I'm going to tell you this right now. I'm going to tell you the same thing that I said to you on the air and off the air this summer.
Yes.
Nobody needs to shop more than the Rangers.
Oh, yeah.
They've internally overrated their team.
Mm-hmm.
And they've taken for granted that they've now hired a dream team in their eyes of coaches, with Sacco, with obviously Sullivan, and with David Quinn. And so they didn't shop enough, whether it's through free agency or trading. They did not. Now they may end up winning the cup. I don't know. It's still, we're not even at 20. Well, some teams are at 20.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? We're at the quarter pole of the season. Long way to go. Lots of things can happen. But for the first 20 games of the New York Rangers season, I think they would qualify as one of the bitingly disappointing franchises in the league.
All right, we'll transition over to another kind of negative moment last night. Mikko Rantanen, and a perfect example of what you like to say all the time, Pierre. Good people sometimes do bad things.
Yeah, this is a convoluted one, though, Jimmy. I might not say something you like very much.
Okay.
But the league's not suspending Mikko Rantanen. And I get how Patrick Roy would – I've been in his shoes. I've seen it happen to players of mine, and you get it. You get angry. You get mad. You want to hold the guy accountable that hurt your player, and your own teammates want to hurt the guy that hurt, the guy. But I'm just going to tell you right now, like, you got to watch that tape pretty close because there's another player involved, and it's a New York Islander player. And
I saw that.
I don't know. I'm just being fair here.
Okay.
I don't know what Mikko Rantanen could have done except like maybe fall down and then maybe breaks the guy's legs. I don't know. Go watch it. Go watch the tape.
I know what you're talking about, and I've seen people say that a lot today. That's kind of been an argument back and forth.
I don't read and worry about
that's
other.
Kind of been, it's been very split from what I've seen in terms of people judging the hit itself.
Yeah.
But my personal opinion is, I think it could have been avoided a bit. Like when he goes down, Pierre, he's falling, right, and did he have to go like this? Like it seems like he did a little extra push as he went down.
That's fair to ask. I don't know, because when you're going that,
it happens so fast, right?
When you're going that fast, I don't know if you can process the information. Oh yeah, I'm going to give him the extra shot.
Right. It's not. Maybe it's a natural reaction.
It's just a natural reaction of trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
So I go back to all the way to the World Junior in Montreal with Mikko Rantanen. Okay, that's a long time ago.
Patrick Roy coached him too.
That's a lot of games ago. Yeah, a lot of games ago, and a lot of miles covered. I've never seen him be a dirty player ever. And I've seen guys when he was in Colorado. I'm just telling you, I've seen guys in Colorado yell at him to get going
because he wasn't rough enough. Okay.
Well, just to be fair.
Yep. But here's what now this is the part.
So you want me to say, like, Scott Mayfield's a player. I like the player. He's not trying to hurt Rantanen, and he's definitely not trying to hurt Romanov.
Yeah.
But he's a guy that kind of puts him in a tough position.
That's a good point, and that's probably why there's no supplemental discipline.
There's no discipline, and it's because of that. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's it. And you would know. I mean, you talk to the people that make these decisions a lot more than me or any of our listeners and viewers. So I respect that. What I also like, and a lot of people that I've seen are kind of questioning it, whether it was a bad hit or not. I like Roy's reaction. I admire it. Like, that's a guy that's passionate for his team. That's a guy that is into the game. That is, I'm here for you guys. I like it. If I'm his players, I love the way he reacted. The only thing I think that he screwed up on were his words, where he says, "You're not going to finish that next game." And the fact that game is so far down the line, I think it's great that he knew in his head when it was, but you're not going to finish that next game against us. He's now going to the league. They're marking that down on the calendar, Pierre, and the league is going to be warning those guys right before that game.
Don't worry. That's way down the road.
Exactly. But I liked it. I like his fire. And I think that's
amazing.
That team needs.
He was involved in some of the most ridiculous stuff ever between Detroit and Colorado.
Exactly.
And he and Claude Lemieux, the two Montreal Canadiens guys, were the ringleaders.
Yep. They were the pugilists.
They were the arsonists. Okay. They were the arsonists. They were. So he knows about all that stuff.
Yep.
I mean, what did he say? Okay, let me ask you this, because if I were in the media, you know what I'd ask him? And I totally agree with Jimmy, by the way. I just want to be clear here.
Okay.
But if I were on the media side and he made that statement last night, I'd say, what did you say to Claude Lemieux when he hit Chris Draper from behind and you were his teammate? What did you say to him? Because that
would be a great question.
But did anybody ask it?
No.
Why not?
Because half of them probably don't even know what we're talking about. and B, it's just not the way it runs these days, unfortunately.
Because you would have got an amazing response.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't get any response, which
But
is even better.
right. But you know what? He would have respected you for asking such a
Because
tough
he'd actually think that you were invested and knew what the hell you were talking about.
Exactly. But I want to take it a little bit further too, because I want to give the Islanders a little credit. By no means am I saying they're definitely going to the playoffs or anything. They're just as much a roller coaster as so many teams in the East right now. But one thing I've noticed about them over the last few weeks, they're in every game. There's not many JT Miller moments. There's no let up. They're always coming at you, and of course, they get the win last night. I like the way they're playing in terms of effort. I don't think they have the big guns to really make a run, but I do think that the coach and the team are on the same page, and there's something building there. And I think that's good. If you're an Islanders fan, I think it's good to see.
We agree. I'm really excited for them. I'm happy for Matthew Darsh. I'm really happy for ownership there. I want the building to be full all the time. People don't realize how important those New York franchises are for the league. It's for the league.
Yeah.
And I care about the league. There's some franchises that are never going to do anything financially. They're just not. They're just not set up to do well. These are set up to do well. And if the league does well, the players do well. And if the players do well, the game continues to evolve and get better. So that's what I care about. And,
Have you been in a new place yet?
Oh yeah, many times. When I was with Ottawa,
Yeah.
I was there many times. I was fortunate enough to be asked to go into Mr. Lamorello's private office and have a substantial discussion with him, which we did.
Nice.
So it was good. It was set up phenomenally well. He's got I don't think he still has it, but he might. But I don't think he does. It was right off the dressing room. It was
cool.
It was a beautiful place to watch hockey, to sit and relax. And unless you were in there every day, you would never know that it even existed. It was a pretty special place.
How's the noise travel in that place, Pierre?
Good, I think.
It's never going to be as loud as the old place, but
no, the old place was I coached a ton of games in the old place. The old place was phenomenal. I broadcast a lot. Did a lot of big playoff games. When Jack Capuano, people forget this. Jack did a hell of a job when he was coaching there. Jack was a really good coach there. They had some good playoff runs.
Oh, yeah.
And that's kind of right near when NBC was really getting going with the full-time stuff on NBC Sports Network. And we did a lot of their games. That place was pepper. It was hot. It was really hot.
Yeah. That's where my first job was. I'll never forget. It was great. I loved working there. All right, Pierre, the Leafs finally got a win. And what I loved, I don't know if you saw damn it, I forgot to send it to you. After the game, you know how every team now, when they get a win, I don't know, maybe they have a belt, they have a hat, they have a jacket. It's the new thing with all the kids today. And they'll give it to who they deem to be the best player or the guy that contributed the most for that game. So the Leafs are doing that and they're waiting, but before they're about to do it, and the coach comes in, Berube comes in, says, "Wait, before you do this, I just want to say something. I want to point something out." And he looks right at John Tavares, who, by the way, made that winning goal by Nylander happen. And he says, "Can we just give it up for JT here and everything he does to help this team?" And just starts praising him and everything. And then I forget who the player was that had won it last and was supposed to pass it to the next player. He says, "Well, I was going to give it to Willie after that. But now, after what he said, this is going right to JT." And they stood up and they gave him an ovation. And I look, and Tavares, you know him so well. He's so humble. He just looked up and he says, "Thanks, boys. Let's keep going." Just like that. And I was like,
yeah, that's Johnny. So again, being transparent, I do the post-game shows on Bet Rivers, another company.
Mm-hmm.
And I work with a gentleman by the name of Kyle Andrew. And so we talked about that last night before it got to the Berube piece that you sent to me. Really good.
Yeah.
That play is amazing because the recognition you have to have, you're enveloped by two of their players, almost three of their players, and to use your right skate to get it back to Morgan Riley, who gets it over to Nylander, who puts it to the back of the net, which unbelievable moves around Jordan Binnington. And I like Nylander's comment. "I scored 2 goals tonight." one in my net and one in theirs.
Well,
So
when he did that, I was like, what else is going to happen for these poor guys when you land
Yeah.
up with his own net?
they have. So here's the thing about last night with Toronto. They actually competed.
Mhm.
They weren't pretty. There was no artistic impression. They weren't fantastic. But they were able to get the job done. I thought Troy Stetcher was excellent. I
Yep.
thought he played really well. I thought that Jacob Quillen was outstanding, even though he didn't get a lot of minutes. I think that's positive for Toronto going forward. Thought Bobby McMahon in all different situations was really good for Toronto, but Johnny Tavares was the most consistent player. He was phenomenal.
I
He
mean,
was really, really good.
Pierre, with the way things have gone for that team this year in that market, can you imagine? It could have been even so much worse without him around. He is a calming presence, and that's what
No. It would have
it
been.
was so evident in that clip.
Put yourself in his shoes for 1 second. He gets asked to give up the captaincy
Mhm.
by a new general manager.
Mhm.
He was, and a new coach. He was
Yeah.
asked. He could have left that team after last year as a unrestricted free agent,
And made a lot more money than he is right
made
now.
a ton more money,
Yep.
and probably paid a lot less taxes.
Mhm.
He chose to stay. He's an amazing person.
Yeah.
He's a selfless leader who cares more about the team than he does about himself.
Yep.
He's an amazing human being.
They're lucky to have him, and if they turn
Oh.
this thing around, you go back to these moments, and you're gonna look at John Tavares and say, "That's why."
Yeah, and I think it's great that you say that too. I'm glad you're acknowledging John because he's really
Well, I know how much a fan you are of him, and I loved how
Yeah.
you said, "What was up with these guys not giving them the proper celebration he deserved?"
I'm still upset about
I know.
that.
You're right.
Jimmy, I remember calling you that night and I was so up and
What are they doing?
yeah, I was really ticked off. I was like, whoa, like, do they think guys score 500 goals every day in the league?
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the heck's going on here? And then I think they were shamed into it, honestly. I do. I think people started hearing and they said, you know what, you better get going here. And they eventually did.
Pierre, before we talk about the Friendship Four in a bit, because I'm getting so excited more and more every day, I saw Marty St. Louis, Montembeau is going to start tomorrow, right? But an interesting thing where he says, and we'll figure this out as we go. Is that a bad thing to hear a coach say that at this point when you're at the quarter mark? Shouldn't he already have it figured out, or am I looking too deep?
Oh, you're too deep.
Okay.
I'll use so this is a good one because you can look it up. It's very easy to reference. The 1992 New York Rangers were the President's Trophy winners. And if you look at it, John Van Beesbrook and Mike Richter basically split the season. Check it out. I think it was like one guy had, I don't know, 47 games and the other guy might have had 44 games. I have no idea. Like, I think that's pretty much what it was. You look it up. 92 Rangers, 91, 92 Rangers.
Yes.
And if
So, yep. Beezer had 45. Richter had 41. So there you go. It's an encyclopedia in there. In that
still works, but that's so they did that. They won. Now the problem for them was they did that. Roger was the coach, Roger Nielsen, and Roger was he had an amazing staff. Coley Campbell was on that staff, and
Wow.
Wayne Cashman was on that staff. Those were
Oh yeah.
Cash and Coley were the assistants.
I love Wayne Cashman.
And on our side, it was Ricky Kehoe, myself, Scotty, and Barry Smith was upstairs. So that was our staff. And I'll tell you one thing: Roger was a hell of a coach. Roger never got enough. Roger Nielsen but Coley and Wayne were on the bench too. That was a great staff. They ran into an unbelievable, like our team. It's not because of the coaches either. Our team was just so good.
Did you that when you went down 2-0 to them?
No, Mario had his hand broken in game 2. Adam Graves slashed him. We won game 1 in MSG.
Okay.
And that's when a guy comes up behind the bench and he says, "I'm going to shoot you two guys." And he was pointing at Bowman. I was like, "No." I said to Scotty, "Get your butt out of here. I'll take care of the." And the guy, like, he was serious. I was like, "Oh my God, this is crazy. I'll shoot you two guys." Oh.
Good stuff there. All right. Well, listen, as I said, we're getting very excited. Want to remind everybody, Pierre and I take off for Ireland on Sunday. We will meet there early Monday morning, Ireland time, that is. And we will be live at 3 p.m. Ireland time. So remember this, and I'm starting to post the stuff tonight on social, but just remember the time difference. So we're going to be 3 p.m. Ireland time, Monday through Thursday, which means it'll be 10 a.m. Eastern for everyone here. And then you do the rest of the math with all the different time zones in the U.S. and Canada. But we will be at the Harry Lemon on Monday. Oh, man, I'm just thinking about being back there last year. Now we're going to be there again. I've been talking to Michael. We'll be at the Harry Lemon on Monday, and then at the Harp in Belfast on Tuesday, then at McConnell's Distillery on Wednesday, back at the Harp on Thursday. And then, as we've told you, we'll be in between games on Friday. We will be at the Friendship Ford SSE Arena. Looking really forward to that. And speaking of the Friendship Ford, tomorrow we'll be recording our on-campus episode for this week. And we're going to have associate coach rather, of the Belfast Giants, Jeff Mason, join us, Pierre. And he went to college and played
college, right
down the street from where I am right here.
College, yeah.
Yeah, and I had a great convo. I remember meeting Jeff last year at the games. I didn't meet him until the end of the week when we were at the games. Really great guy. Looking forward to talking to him. And, what I want to talk to him about, Pierre, and for all our, college hockey players out there, maybe you don't see yourself going far in the pros or whatever, or making it to the NHL. Teams like the Belfast Giants are a great option, and he's proof. He's gone over there and established a life. I mean, look at Steve Thornton, what he's done with his life over there.
Bobo Carpenter went over there and was part of a championship team. He's back playing in the North America now, but he got an MBA there. Yeah. But one of the real perks, the education system around most of that league, the Elite Ice Hockey League, or the Elite Hockey League, they call it, is you get an opportunity to continue your education if you want to.
Right.
And it's, what's an MBA worth?
A lot these days.
A lot. You're damn right it is. So, no, I think it's great. I have so much respect for the men and the women that are involved. You and I have been invited to this amazing Thanksgiving dinner again, which blows me away. And, I sent a response to Lorna, who contacted me, and I was like,
wonderful lady.
I'm just so grateful that you people actually allow us to go to this. It's amazing.
It's our honor. But it is. It's great. And we saw actually they have a condo building right next to the arena where players can live. So it's like you get out of bed, you shower, the arena.
For people that don't know, the cool part about Belfast is there are a lot of museums there. And one of them is the Titanic Museum.
Yep.
And that's right where those guys live.
Yeah.
The guys in the Belfast Giants. It's pretty cool. And then there's a big event that Jimmy and I are going to be going to around New Year's Eve when we're back there again.
The women's tournament, yep.
Yeah. And I don't want to break the news to Jimmy. He doesn't know about it yet. But you don't know about it yet. But I might share it with you on Monday night when you're tired and I'm giving you poop for being soft.
So then I can stay awake all night.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You know how it works.
Hey, you know what? Are we going to dinner at that pizza place again this year? Are we going
Sano's? We might go to Sano's. I asked my daughter to check on this. There's a great restaurant that I like there called Mr. S, and they do all the charcoal. It's all barbecue.
You were telling me about that, the steak, yeah.
I just don't know if it's open on Monday. And if it's not open on Monday, then we're going to go to Sano's. I already talked to Justine.
I'm still on their email list. I get all their specials.
Sano's is good. Right?
Yeah.
Sano's is a great pisa place in Dublin. It's really good
stuff. It's good stuff. All right, let's get to our wonderful sponsors. And let's start. You know what? I'm gonna do Vago first because what I want to do, Pierre, is I want to do Point S and then segue our tune up right into my picks.
Yeah, good idea.
Has more flow that way. All right, so let's start off with our wonderful friends at Vago, who combine old world classics and new Italian dishes for over 23 years. Private dining rooms for any occasion. They're open Monday to Saturday evenings and lunch from Tuesday to Friday. They're located at 1336 Green Avenue in Westmount. For reservations, call 514-846-1414. Again, that's 514-846-1414. It's hard to believe a week tomorrow. A week has already passed since we were there for that amazing dinner with the whole crew at Vago. Looking forward to being there again. Pierre, when?
For the Olympics. We'll be there in February.
For February, we will be there broadcasting. It's going to be a hockey lunch for all to enjoy over at Vago as we'll broadcast live in the lunch hour. We'll figure out all the details in the coming months, and
we'll get all that. They got to figure out whether they're going to play it in which rink. But once we get all that, we'll put something out. Jimmy and I both talked about it. put something out to show here are the times, here are the games will be played in that time. They told me at Vago they're going to put another TV in,
Great.
which would be good. So there may be a Canada women game, there might be a USA women game,
Right.
there could be guy games going on. Like it'll be up. We'll take care of it. And Jimmy and I'll be there, and you can ask questions, and we'll make it interactive. That's what we like to do, anyways.
Yeah. And by the way, speaking Pierre of the rink situation, last night it was reported on TSN. So they actually looked into the options we were discussing. Should they not have that? And they said that the IOC said, no, it's either Italy or nothing. So they said, we're getting this done.
Yeah, I thought that's a
little premature to say that, Pierre.
Yeah.
You can't put an ultimatum on yourself like that.
Yeah, I'm just going to say this, and I don't like to, you know me, I don't want to pick a fight with anybody.
No.
But I'm going to tell the IOC something. You guys know how much money was taken out of the Vancouver Olympic facility for the rink, and it crushed every one of the other venues. You better be careful. That's all I'm going to tell them. They better be careful.
I'm glad, because I
they
thought
better be careful.
The
Just
second
tell
I
them.
got that, I'm like, really? You want to say that now? I don't know. It was interesting. All right.
Yep.
Let's get over to our other great sponsor we just brought on this month, Point S, where you can go right now and get winter tires from GT Radial starting at $89. That's a great deal there. So if you haven't bought your winter tires in Quebec, remember, time is running out. You got until December 1st, which amazingly is right around the corner, to get those tires installed. The good news is, like I said, you can go to Point S right now and pick up GT Radial tires starting at $89 per tire. If you visit point-s.ca and shop for the GT Radial tires there and find your nearest Point S location. And like I said, we're going to do the tune-up right now, so let's cue that up.
The tune-up, presented by Point S and GT Radio.
We already mentioned it. I'm going to go with JT Miller. He's got to tune up the example he's setting for his team as captain, and that's how I'll keep it short and simple.
And I'm going to go to the St. Louis Blues and our good friend Jimmy Montgomery and Claude Julien, who's also there, and Steve Ott, who's also there, and Dougie Armstrong, who's also the general manager of Team Canada. You're going to need to tune your team up. Mm-hmm. You've gone far enough now. You know exactly what you have. It's time to start to retool your roster. Yep. And it starts now. So that's the tune-up they need.
And is that in terms of retool, Pierre, would you say you're retooling for the present and the future, or the future?
Future.
Oh, interesting. All right. And of course, let's go to our wonderful sponsor, Betway, where you can still go all the way with Betway and bet those beauties. For a new member right now, we have a great deal going on. So you go to that QR code right in front of you if you're watching. If not, you go to the website and go to the member section and fill out the details there. And you will get this amazing deal where you can get up to $300 back on your first deposit. That's right, $300 credit on your first deposit. So you could lose a bet and you're still working with free money. That's a great deal there right now. Remember, you must be 18 plus. Terms and restrictions apply. It is not available in Ontario right now, and you must bet responsibly. And I'm going to give you my picks right now. I've got two of them.
Hey, wait a second. How did you do on the Columbus-Winnipeg game?
I did all right. I actually got everything right last night. I had somebody hit me up on social and say, thanks for making me money. So I'll give some credit there to Pierre, because Pierre made me aware of the schedule effect there on the Columbus Blue Jackets. And going into Winnipeg, no matter if you're playing a back-to-back or not, is always a tough place, right? Yeah. All right, so Edmonton, another team that we've talked about tuning up, needs a little tune-up there. They're going into Washington right now, but they get Washington on the tail end of a back-to-back. They're coming off a tough, embarrassing loss in Buffalo. I like the Oilers to bounce back tonight, Pierre, and it's a rare time where you will see them as an underdog. They are plus 110 right now at Betway. I mean, even when the Oilers are slumping, they're always favorites for some reason. I guess it's just because of Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. But finally, the odds makers have made them a dog. I think they take offense to that. I think they take offense to what happened the other night. They go into Washington and beat Ovi and the Caps. And then I'm going to go to Minnesota, where the Carolina Hurricanes will go into Mini tonight to battle the Minnesota Wild. And I'm liking a home team here, another dog. They are at plus 120 on the money line. Give me the Minnesota Wild to knock off the Carolina Hurricanes at home. All right, let's go. What do we got? Franco, you got to give to get, and not questioning the transaction, but do you think the Habs miss Emil Heineman? He's big, he can skate, score, hit, and play up and down your lineup. How valuable is someone like him?
He is, but if you don't trade him, you're not getting Dobson, because Dobson was going to go to Columbus.
Yep.
So does Dobson make you better playing with Matheson, or does Heineman make you better? And then you have no defense on the right side because you're playing Lane Hudson on the offside. Carey is your only right sider. He's better playing in the 5-6 hole than the 1-2-3-4 hole. So, I do think Heineman's a good player, but Dobson's going to be better than him in terms of influencing the game.
I stand by it. I think that's going to be one of those great hockey trades, Pierre. When all is said and done, every team will benefit.
Yep.
All right, next question. Brodeur, HOF, with McDavid at Ovi tonight. Not that Connor doesn't normally put in an effort, but does that have any self-induced pressure for McDavid to outplay and outscore Ovechkin?
I don't think he cares.
No, I think he just wants to get his team.
He just wants to get his team going. It has nothing to do with him versus Ovechkin. Crosby, Ovechkin's different.
Right.
These guys
in the same time.
Everybody knew Washington, Pittsburgh was always going to play in the playoffs. So you set the tone. You set the tone during the regular season. These guys, you're just playing Edmonton versus Washington. That's what this is tonight.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, Jimmy and Pierre. What's up, Randy, by the way? Jimmy and Pierre, who will be the biggest player traded at the deadline? Randy, I don't know, but I have a feeling there's going to be a big player traded before that. I think we're going to see trades right before the Olympic break.
I'm with Jimmy on this. I think most of the big guys will be gone by the time we get to the trade deadline.
The deadline might be a dud.
Because if you look at what's going on right now, I'll give you an example because you know how important goal differential is. Colorado Avalanche are plus 31 right now. Nobody's close to them. They're plus 31. Everybody in the Atlantic is even or minus. The Montreal Canadiens are -3 goal differential. So the reason why that is, that division is really hard. And the Metro is not great, but guys have let their guard down against the Metro. I'm talking about in the Eastern Conference.
Yep.
I think you're going to see really big trades early, way before the deadline. And I really believe because guys are going to be teetering, guys are going to be scared. Everybody looks at different parts of the standings. The one that will never lead you astray, I promise you, just go look at goal differential every single day.
Yep.
And you'll see the teams that are surging and you'll see the teams that are falling.
Yeah. And the special teams quotient as well, right?
Yeah. Well, the special teams quotient never lies. Yep. You got to be 105 or higher.
Yeah.
You have no choice. If you're not winning. You got to be 105 or higher.
All right. Next question. What do we got? Seamoke. What's up, Seamoke? Pierre, do you think the Blues will blow things up and start rebuilding? Pierre already said future. I think
they need a tune-up.
They do.
They need a tune-up on Point S.
Go to Point S. Trip out to Montreal. All right. Next question. What do we got? Maybe the Canadians can make another trade with them and send them a little certificate from Point S, a little coupon. All right. Perlo Wisdom. Seems Jordan Kyrou is in the doghouse a bit in St. Louis. It seemed that way for a while, Perlo. Lots of rumors about him in the offseason. You think he could be available if the Blues keep struggling? By all accounts, Pierre, you've already said it. You hear his name out there a lot, right?
I'll tell you one thing. He was the best player for the St. Louis Blues last night. He was really good. Now he's a Toronto kid coming home. So, there's a little more pep in his step. And he also has a very bad relationship with the coach in Toronto. They didn't get along at all in St. Louis. So I get that. And you know what? Stuff happens it's just part of the deal. It happens. Some guys like you, some guys don't. You don't coach for a popularity contest. You're coaching to win. I think he will be traded. Yeah, I do. I think he'll be traded.
Next question. Gabriel Lamb. What's up, Gabe? I don't like to call for someone's job, but at what point do the Rangers fire Chris Drury? None of this is on Sullivan. It's time for the GMs to be held accountable.
Gabriel, I admire the way you posed the question.
It was a great way to say it.
They just signed Drury to an extension. So I don't see anything happening there. If I were Drury, the only thing I'd be worried about, Brendan Shanahan was relieved of his duties, and he's a former New York Ranger.
And where's he working now, Pierre?
National Hockey League.
And where is that in relation
right across the street from Madison Square Garden.
There you go. All right, next question. Vincent Yoel. Hello, gentlemen. Thanks for your insight. Thank you for watching. What's the trophy beside the 2 Stanley Cups?
It's a Patrick Division trophy.
Patrick
And-
Division. I didn't know they did one.
Yeah, it's a Pat, and I have 2 of them, and one of them got stolen in one of our moves.
No.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
You tell me who it was, and I'll call my Southie friends. All right.
Yeah, I don't think it was one of the Boston guys. I think
No,
we'll
track
it was
down.
from it was from another move.
Okay.
One of the 14.
That's what happens when you move that much.
But,
I thought it was a President's Trophy. Okay, Patrick, huh?
yeah, it was a Patrick Division trophy.
You guys won the Presidents with Pittsburgh once, though, didn't you?
We did not when I was there. They won it in '93. They did. I was in Hartford. And
That was when they lost.
Again, the reason there's a lot of Jimmy knows the story. I didn't leave Pittsburgh because I was asked to leave. I left Pittsburgh because I bought into what Brian Burke was selling, and I really believe Brian. And I think he had the right ideology. He did some masterful stuff, but he left after 9 months. And it was an unbelievable opportunity to help rebuild a team. We'd already won 2 Stanley Cups. Right after they won the President's Trophy, it wasn't long after everybody left. Scotty left, Barry Smith left, like a lot of guys left. Greg Malone went down to Tampa. Just guys left. You win a lot and guys leave. But maybe I'll switch the trophies up and put some of the broadcasting trophies up, which are over to my right.
I like them.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, next question. Stephen Cardinal. Good show, guys. How hard is it to teach a D-man to play forward? Is it easier to teach a winger to play center? That's a great question.
It's hard. It's hard to teach a winger to play center, but there are guys that can do it. But it's hard to do. How hard is it to teach a D to play forward? Not that hard. I remember when Scotty had Rick Chartrand, and he would play defense and he could play forward. He was tough as nails too. I think he can do it. I don't know if he watches the show, but one night we were in New Jersey, and Scotty says, "Go tell Paul he's playing left wing tonight." I'm like, "I'm not telling Paul he's playing left wing tonight." He's, "Oh yes, you are." The Paul that I'm talking about is Paul Coffey. Wow. Scotty wanted him to play it forward, not on defense. I don't know why, and I don't want to get into it.
Yeah.
So I just walked up very quietly, didn't make it a big deal, and I said, "Paul, don't shoot me. I'm just the messenger. Just the messenger. You're going to play on left wing tonight. You're going to play with Trottier and Yager." I'm pretty sure that's what the line was.
Yeah.
I'm lucky I didn't get hit over the head with the stick.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
Did you just scurry right out of there?
No, I would never. You know me. I would never do that. I wasn't scurrying away from anything, but I just felt really bad. And I said, "It wasn't my idea.
Yep.
I'm just doing what I'm told to do, and I'm asking you."
Yeah.
He didn't make, to his credit, Paul didn't make it a big deal, but I was waiting for the stick to come right over the top of my head.
That was my dad's favorite line, Pierre, to the kids, to us, and my sister and brother was, "Your mom said this. I'm just the messenger. Don't shoot the messenger." Always remember that. All right, next question. Gabriel Lamb. Is Panarin someone that could be moved? Yes.
Yeah, because you don't have to be stuck with the contract. It's basically a test drive.
He's a rental. Yep.
He's a test drive. So if you want him, you can get him and maybe put you over the top offensively. I was watching something the other day. I was watching the Rangers play Detroit, and I saw Panarin and Kane right next to one another. And I'm saying, I remember when Panarin broke in, and it was Kane.
I always wondered about that too, Pierre.
So I don't know if Detroit does anything or not on that. I don't know.
Just on that note, in a broader view of it, Pierre, if you've got a UFA like that,
yeah,
a Panarin, right? Can you get back guys with term, or is it always going to be a UFA for UFA?
No, you can get guys back with term. Sometimes teams just want to dump money too.
Okay.
Yeah, no, because they have bigger plans. They have other plans. They want to dump some money so they can.
You need to identify.
Yeah. You need to find that. That's what I said. Owner, GM, pro scouts. This year.
This is where the scouts are.
You have to have people that have vision, that understand the organizational strengths and weaknesses of every team.
Okay.
And if you don't have that, and you don't have an owner that says to the GM, "I'm giving you the money," and you don't have a GM that trusts the pro scouts, and you don't have pro scouts that know what they're doing, you're not winning this year.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, you're not winning the cup this year.
All right, next question. Real Deal Primer. What's up, Real Deal? Hi, Pierre. You're looking healthy. Zach Vukali is dominating the Russian league. Why is an ER Canadian boy playing for a National Hockey League team?
Well, you know what? That's a good question.
I liked him.
Zach was a worker, athletic. That's a good, you know what? Good for Real Deal Prime. That's good.
He
I
could-
like that.
he could
I
get a
like it.
backup job somewhere.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, next question. Randy Workman, do you guys feel McKenna is still the number one pick?
Okay, Randy, good, really fair question. Jimmy knows I don't like to avoid questions, so I'm not going to avoid. I'm going to say way too early to tell.
Mhm.
I will say this. If you had to pick right now, I would say no. I would say no.
Is it a eye of the beholder type thing right now or no?
Could be. Some people are going to watch what Celebrini's doing, and they're going to say, why can't he do what Celebrini's doing? And my answer would be, if I were in the scouting meeting, because he's not doing what Celebrini did.
And that's that.
He's not.
Yeah.
Again, I haven't seen Gavin practice for Guy Godowski at Penn State. I have not. But
Mhm.
I watched Macklin Celebrini practice a lot at BU. And I'm just telling you, I knew from the practices, I'm like, oh boy, this guy's going to be something else.
All right, next question. Franco, what are your thoughts on Logan Sawyer? What's the upside ceiling on this player?
Good player. Solid, really solid. I think he'll play in the league.
All right.
I think he'll play in the NHL.
All right, next question. Rodor HOF. Vancouver is solidly outside looking in. Is there a point where Quinn joins his brother in New Jersey?
I don't want to go down that road because it's all like this mass media stuff. Jimmy knows it better than me, but Jimmy knows. I don't think so. I don't know, Jimmy.
All I'm gonna say is will they play together? Maybe. I don't think it's such a sure bet. It's in New Jersey though. That's all I'll say.
Okay, I just want to present this to everybody, and I'm friends with those guys in Jersey.
Yep.
Like good friends. I was just with Tommy Fitz at Ray Sherrill's Celebration of Life at St. Lawrence. They don't have Jack. Jack Hughes not there. They're not winning right now. I mean, I know people don't want to hear this. They might not make the playoffs, Jimmy. I know it sounds crazy. I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs, Jimmy. If they don't get Jack back at some point, I don't know if they're going to be good enough.
Yeah. They're in trouble, I think, to be honest.
They are in trouble. So I don't know what Tommy's going to do or not do. Because I would never be so presumptuous as to ask him, what's your long-term vision? I don't think that's appropriate to do, especially when you got a player like Hughes that's hurt.
Yeah. And I said it before, and I'll keep saying it until he turns it around. I'm worried about Markstrom. I don't know where his game is right now. So luckily they have Jake Allen. All right, next question. Gabriel Lamb, should Barry Trotz fire himself from the GM spot and become the coach for Nashville?
No, not fire himself as a GM.
Fire himself.
You know what? If he wants to do that to Andrew Burnett, if he wants to, he should do what Bob Gainey did when he was in Montreal and still be the GM, but get a look at what his players are like. Because Barry hadn't coached any of these guys in Nashville. You think about it, like he was with the Islanders, he was with Washington. He might have had Roman Josi for a little while. Maybe he had Philip Forsberg for a little while, but most of those other guys, he didn't have Stamkos, he didn't have Marchessault when he was coaching there. He went there as a general manager. He didn't go there as a coach.
It's 2022 was his last season. All right. Next question. Simo, Pierre, where do you think Steve Stamkos?
I would love to see, if he gets traded, I'd love to see him go to Montreal.
Me too.
The relationship with LeCavier, the relationship with St. Louis, those guys basically broke him in. They mentored him as a player. I think Steven's got game left. I know there are people that text me that are hockey people that say, come on, Pierre, you're just saying that because you like the guy. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with that. I just think he's a winner.
I want to see him in a hockey market like that.
I just know he's a winner. And I'm telling you, you put him in a pepper pot like Montreal, I think it'd be good. But he's not a centerman. I would not play him at center.
Nope.
I would not play him at center.
All right, next question. Tyler, that's it. All right.
I like that. That's good.
Well, do I read the question still, Tyler? If that's no, just
read it.
Love the show, guys. Thanks for the work. Thank you, Tyler. With so many teams in the East so close in the standings, I have two questions. When you see separation happening, will the trade deadline come to teams who think they have a chance, or a GM with the personality to buck trends and make bold moves?
I think the GM that has personality, it bucks trends, makes bold moves. I think that's going to be something that Jimmy and I have been. It's owner, GM, pro scouting staff.
Yep.
Hugely important. Hugely important. In the East, when are we going to have separation? I'm going to say by the Christmas break.
I was going to say the same, but like the Winter Classic.
Yeah, the Christmas break. So what's going to happen now is there'll start to be some separation because road trips are starting to kick in. And what are we seeing more than anything now? Injuries.
Yeah. Yep.
So
the war of attrition has begun. All right. That's it for our questions. We appreciate all your questions. Awesome as always. Thanks to Shane working the boards up in Montreal. Thanks to our wonderful sponsors. And Pierre, you have an amazing night, my friend. Any games you're going to be zeroed in on, or just kind
I
of
want to see if Edmonton learns how to play defense tonight. I'll be watching for that. I think that's important. I like your call, Carolina, Minnesota. I'm looking forward to watching Carolina go on the road and see what they have under the hood in Minnesota, which is maybe one of the better coach teams in the league. They don't get Johnny Hines and Jack Capuano don't get nearly enough credit. They don't. They just don't.
Yep.
And I'm not saying that because my kid's part of their organization. That had nothing to do with it.
You've said it for a long time.
Yeah, I've been saying it way before Ryan got
Wall
there.
Street Pierre has been playing better. He's starting to show the potential.
He's a good legit goalie. He's good. And that helps Philip too, Gustafson.
Yep.
Gus is by the way, Jimmy.
Oh, I know you're big.
I'm a big Gus guy. Like I got to know Gus really well. I really like Gus a lot.
I hear you. And the Bruins there out in Anaheim.
Come on. Are you working tonight?
I'm working, but we're doing morning recaps for the Bruins. We're not as tough as the Canadians.
That just you're soft.
I'm soft.
Soft. Tony and I do all the late shows.
It's not my. I'll just take the soft. I'm not going to say anything. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. All I'm going to say is
I do the late shows, as you know. And when I'm in Europe with you next week, you know how many late shows I'm going to have to do?
I know, but you're going to teach me how to get the streams there.
I am.
All right. It's all legal.
You didn't just wink at me, did you?
All right, everyone, have a good night out there. Enjoy the hockey.
Have a great night.
And Pierre, I will see you at 11 a.m. tomorrow when we talk to Jeff Mason.
Yes, you will. Yep.
On campus. Have a great night, everyone. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Eye Test on the Sick Podcast Network.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Eye Test with Pierre McGuire and Jimmy Murphy on YouTube, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.